Hello, my friends. Today we are going to talk about boundaries. Boundaries have never been my forte. They have probably been one of my biggest downfalls, if I'm being honest. They never really existed in my world for the longest time, but I am actively changing that. I've always been a highly tolerant person. I've always had a high tolerance for bullshit, high tolerance for discomfort, for less than ideal situations. And when you pair that with my unwavering patience, hope, and optimism, it is a perfect storm for settling. For a long time, I had low to no standards. Why? Not because I didn't care, but because I didn't think I needed them. I don't remember ever being taught how to have standards. What I was taught was be a good person, give my all, give my best. And if I did that consistently enough, surely things would work out in my favor, right? Well, I was in for a rude awakening. Several rude awakenings until I learned that that's just not how the world works. At least not all the time. I'm learning that boundaries come into play once I figure out where I want to direct my energy. What and who is aligned with who I am now and who I want to be. In simplest terms, all boundaries really are, bring in my definition, boundaries are an energy filtration system informed by our standards and guided by our priorities. I've discovered that boundary setting or enforcing boundaries actually are so easy, empowering even. The hard part is figuring out for myself in relation to others where I'd like that boundary to lie. The work is in defining and refining where the boundaries belong. I am by no means a boundary setting master, but now I know what I need to do to become one. Clarity is key. To crystallize where a boundary lies, I've learned it requires getting super painfully clear on what I want out of life, out of a career, a home, a friendship, partnership. What do I want to feel? How do I want others to feel around me? What impact do I want to make? And not from a bare minimum lens, but from a radically honest one. If I wasn't holding back, if I wasn't shrinking myself, if I let my most ambitious, wildest, uninhibited self speak freely, what would my life actually look like? That kind of clarity takes time and intentional reflection. For me, it happens when I'm alone, because that's when I can hear my true self without outside influence. Who I am around others is different from who I am alone. Both matter, but reflection requires energy turned inward, I think. I'm someone who really struggles to do introspective and creative work around other people. There's always a part of me that's extending outward, being present, attuned, responsive. And that splits my focus. So I've learned to protect my solo time, not out of isolation, but out of self-respect. Clarity isn't a one-time thing, I think. It requires regular maintenance because we evolve constantly. Every conversation, every experience, every interaction gives us new data about ourselves, about each other, about what's possible. For me, that maintenance looks like checking in with myself, journaling, writing out lists, lots of lists. It helps me organize my thoughts and stops me from going in circles. It gives shape to what I'm learning in real time. And the more honest I am with myself, the easier it becomes to communicate clearly and honestly with others. At the end of the day, boundaries are ongoing conversations and active listening between ourselves and the world around us. I've come to believe that boundaries aren't restrictive. I used to see them as inhibiting, limiting, suffocating, but now I see them as directional. They pave the path toward the life I actually want. I used to think the more open I was and the more flexible I stayed, the more likely a mediocre or even unhealthy situation could transform into something better. But what that really did was spread my energy thin and keep me banking on and investing in potential for far too long. I don't have time to wait on external factors to become ideal. Time is finite, and I'm learning to be more intentional with how I spend it. I think that I'll always be an open-minded, patient, and optimistic person. I love those things about me. But now I'm learning how to recognize when something isn't aligned with my values, my priorities, goals, dreams. And instead of resisting that recognition, I pivot sooner. I redirect my energy and time to what's most important to me. The sooner I stop resisting what my intuition knows to be true deep down, the sooner I feel free to be a more aligned version of myself. If you take anything away from this, please know that your time and energy and you are precious. No need to shrink your ambitions or desires or settle for anything less. I know that we're all dealt different hands and our life situations vary greatly, but we all have the power to change our situations, to redefine the relationships we have in the world, with the world, all beginning with ourselves. You and me. I'm hungry. Gonna go find some food. Peace and love. Thank you for being here. Thank you for existing. Till the next one, my friends.